Hey guys, I'm not really doing a video for anything that has to do with stereonanthropy today. Um, Yesterday, my beloved familiar had to be put down. She had a neurological condition either in her brain or her spine, and I went to check on her. She was staying in my garage because my parents wouldn't let her stay here with me, and she was staying in my garage, which is like right around the corner. And I went in there and I gave her food and water like I did every single day. But today, not today, excuse me, yesterday, she had a seizure as soon as I went in there. Silent. And when I stayed with her for a little bit, hoping that maybe she'll come back, because I know that animals have seizures, and I've heard of animals just bouncing right back like it's no big deal. But she became extremely unresponsive. She stopped moving. She couldn't get her body to do what she wanted it to do. Her paws would turn inward like this when she tried to stand up. The only thing that she was moving was the tip of her tail. So I took her to the vet. My brother is paying for it. He's paying it off with payments because it costs a lot of money. We went into the vet and it was an emergency. Obviously, I had her wrapped up in the blanket because she was getting spooked real easily. We went in there. I had my dad. My dad had Phelan, my son, and they went over what was wrong with her, which was basically just a neurological condition. Either something's wrong with her brain or spine, which causes her to be completely unresponsive, and she's in a lot of pain. So I spoke to them about the treatment, and it was going to cost nearly $2,000 to treat her, which nobody in my family could have done. And with a baby, it was hard for me to even consider spending that amount of money on anything, and it was heartbreaking. So I asked them how much would it be for euthanasia, and with that, it just killed me. And they brought me back into paperwork, and they told me that this is what happens. This is what is going to happen. Do you want to hold her? Do you want to be with her? I wanted to be with her through everything. Everything. I wanted to say my last words to her. I wanted to make sure that she knew that I loved her until the last breath, until the last beat of her heart. Finally, they brought her into the room with me after discussing how to go through with the payments. I held her, and I got at least 15 minutes of alone time with her before they had to sedate her. And I told her that I loved her, and it was time to be set free. So after that, they came back in the room because I had knocked on the door telling them that I was ready, and she was ready. She gave me that indication. She laid her head down and just pretty much looked like she was ready to just give up the fight. They came in. They told me that they had to go and sedate her, so they took her into the back room and sedated her. And she came back, and she was asleep, but she was still breathing. Her heart was still beating. She was alive still. And they said that they're going to give me a little more time with her before they euthanize her. So they gave me a little more time with her, and I told her again that I loved her, and I'm so sorry. I wish there was more I could have done. If I saw this coming, I probably would have been more prepared. Then I let them come back in, and they injected her with the fluids, and it didn't take long. I whispered, "I love you," one more time as she took her last breath. It was hard for me because Vixen was she was my familiar. She wasn't just a cat. She wasn't just a pet. She wasn't just a memory of the family. She was part of me. And I found her in the woods when I was mourning the death of one of my best friends. She was murdered in those same woods. The cat came to me, and I realized that she was malnourished and she was pregnant, and I didn't want to just leave her in the woods, so I saved her life. And in return, she helped me cope through so much loss that I had to go through. But a familiar seems to only, like, I've read that a familiar only stays with their owner for as long as they need them. And I guess she thought that I didn't need her anymore. But I couldn't need her any more than I do right now. And it's hard for me to get over it because I don't have much anymore. I don't have the things that people would have to help cope through these situations. I don't have those things. I live with my parents. I can't have time alone. I have a baby I need to take care of, so I never really have any time to grieve. And this video is pretty much just me explaining why I'm just so meh to everyone. So, rest in peace, Vixen, Belldonna, Nightshade doll. I love you, and I will never forget you. Thank you for everything. Stay wild.